everybody. How's it going? So, what do you say? I want to do a journey today into something. I don't know what it is yet. What if I listened into our collective, see what sort of universal message is that our collective is talking about? I'll tell you what comes to me, and then we can dive into it. All right, let me just listen here for a moment. Okay, so if I take all the human beings on our earth, in our present day, in this version of earth that we know and understand, and I put all of us together into one universal body, and now I have one collective persona to communicate with. What's the personality? What's its style? What questions does it have, or what answers does it have? Let me see what it's like. It's very bland. It's very basic. It's taking something that could be exquisite, that a lot of hours and a lot of heart, a lot of imagination, creativity could be put into manifesting a genuine product for society, whether it's a food item or a furniture item or an app. That's something with real heart that really inspires the evolution of humanity, okay? But instead of putting, let's just say, 1,000 hours into this creation, we're going to try to take that 1,000 hours and get it all done within 1 hour. And it'll be good enough. And we might even add some paint to it, make it look crafty and cute, add a little slogan here, done. And it is good enough. It's absolutely good enough. So our collective representation is really a half-assed job. That I'm supposed to take it and say, oh, thank you, this glorious thing that you've created. I'm so happy to put my name on that too. Like, I own this thing. Look at this awesome thing. Instead of 1,000 hours put into creating something really memorable, really last a long time, really make a big difference from this generation to the next. No, it's something that might last a couple years. It's going to fall apart. You're going to put it in the trash. There's going to be 1 million of them now in the trash, and we're going to replace it and then replace it again and then replace it. It starts to sound like a cell phone, actually. Because have you noticed those cell phone batteries die out in 2 years, which is just in time for your next cell phone plan? Like, this stuff is not a coincidence. It is perfectly crafted to ensure that you need to get a new cell phone every 2 years. That's what it's like. In this bland representation of mankind, that's my experience with it. It's not celebrating one man's life's work. It's one man's, quick idea to make millions of dollars. It's bland. I mean, it's tasteless. It's if I were to eat this every day for my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, there would be no flavor to it. It'd be gristly. It would be disappointing. It would be fine. I guess that's what we eat now. Even a saltine cracker has more value to it than this. Okay, so what else does our collective, what else, what am I supposed to do with that? Other than tell you that's my first experience with our collective, unity body. That's the first thing that wants to come out. That's at the surface of it. So what are we going to do about this? This is interesting. The next scene that comes to me may have something to do with the first, but it seems to be kind of a new thing. And I see that there's a new hairstyle out there. And it's kind of like the scarecrow look. I swear to God, it echoes to me that it is called the scarecrow, and everybody straightens their hair. And there's a certain type of, I don't know, way of doing this. And we have this like hair that kind of comes out like this, and then we shave off the top. Just take that part out, and we're all bald here. And then we have this scarecrow. I guess we try to make our hair look like straw. And that's the new thing. But then I see variations of this. Some people keep a strip down the center and then have it go up. And then put it in like a pigtail here and then keep it straight there. Some people keep that there and then flip it over. Or it seems like there's different variations of the scarecrow. And then I hear this person laughing, and they're in what is like a broken lazy boy. It looks kind of like a wooden rocking chair, but it also looks like kind of like a lazy boy recliner. And he's laughing and he's saying, "Can you keep up with the times? Can you keep up with the times?" I say, "Are you part of the collective unity body? Where's your scarecrow haircut?" He says, "I'm an original. I'm me. The original me." I say, "What does that mean?" He's a bit nutty because he kind of just gives me a weird smile. He has big black sunglasses on, and his skin's kind of pasty, white, and a little bit sweaty. He's missing a few teeth. He has some facial hair. He's wearing kind of a suit in a way. It just looks kind of creepy. It's almost like he's looking into me. And I just sit down in his body so I can see through his eyes. And let's see what he's really like on the inside. I look weird to him. I mean, I look like I'm made out of pasta that's kind of layered into a weird pasta body. I look very strange. Maybe it's like an X-ray vision. Maybe he has X-ray vision. Maybe these are special sunglasses. Maybe he sees more through these sunglasses than we know. They look like regular sunglasses, but they're actually X-ray vision sunglasses. And he just seems really actually bored with life. He kind of behaves as though he's more interesting than he really is, actually. And I think that he's an original because he's trying to get people's attention, but he's really not very interesting. He has these cool sunglasses, but I don't really find him very interesting. I just go back to being me and I say, "I don't find you very interesting. And I don't want to talk to you anymore." And I go back to the unity collective body. And let's see what else is going on with the human race today. And what is it that we're really gaining from this experience? What type of what does this mean to us, and what do we like or we don't like about what is being presented so far? What do we agree with? What do we relate to? What do we think differently about it? You know, there's this crystal that keeps showing up, and it's got a point at the top. It's long, it's tall, it's like a tower crystal, and then it has like a little triangle point at the top. And it's clear, but also has some purple to it. And I walk past this whole thing, and I walk into this crystal. And I see a place where everything is half and half. It represents something that is pure and something that is ugly. Inside this crystal, it represents something ugly and something pure. I see there's a girl who reminds me of like the never-ending story, the little blonde princess. And she looks on one side, she represents purity, and the other side she represents ugliness, and there's like a troll-looking version of herself. And she says, "Welcome to my home." If we were to only see things in one way, we would be missing the many sides that things represent themselves. This is the basic beginning of what she's saying, okay? That in people, there's going to be an ugly side and a pure side. And in people, they might hide their pure side, but it is still there. You may see it and try to bring it out of them, but they may only ever be able to represent their ugly side. But there's still their pure side and their ugly side. But there's more to it than this, okay? If you were to, let's just say, see that in the world, it feels like we're just producing a bunch of garbage that works for the short term but has no long-term value. We would define that as the ugly side of society. There is a need for us to choose to see that both exist in society, and to define what it is we want out of this life and what it is we don't want out of this life. It's more complex than this, or just as simply as I put it. But not to see things as just one way. So if I were to have a product that this is good enough for now because I'm probably going to have to replace it soon, or this is going to fit my budget, this is the best I can do, even though I know this might not get me very far for the long run. It's like, I really want to examine this as an example. Do I have some, let's say the cell phone, okay? Here I have this cell phone. It seems freaking glorious, but it is built to literally need to be replaced within 2 years. I mean, that I've had pretty much the same consistent issue come up every 2 years. So how do I see the beauty and the ugliness in this? Well, she says, if you can see it. Not everybody can see it. Some people will just see that this is God's gift to mankind. Other people will see it as Satan's gift to mankind. Other people will see it, well, this is going to work for me. I know I'm going to have to replace it because I want to. I want to have the latest and the greatest. So what's it matter if it craps out in 2 years? I say, my God, now we're starting to go around and around in a circle, because people will genuinely see, not see, and be okay with literally anything and everything. So all versions of perception exist then. And within all versions of perception is something that is ugly and something that is pure, inevitably. But can something just be just pure? And is that what we are wanting? Is that what we are striving for? Something that is just pure. What about the scarecrow look? Like, what is this? It's just, we are trying to find new ways of expressing ourselves, exploring new creative ways of doing our hair and stuff. She says some people, it's like a drive to destroy themselves and make it look cool. And she says you've seen this before. And I would say the 90s was an era where we strove to literally destroy ourselves and look cool at the same time. Because doing drugs and not bathing, just wearing baggy clothes, having, I don't know, unwashed, dreadlocked hair and stinking. I don't know, there was something cool about this. It was like a weird grunge thing. That we're going to destroy ourselves with drugs and alcohol and look cool while we're doing it. You're going to have greasy hair. We're going to just look cool while we're doing it. As long as we look cool while we're destroying ourselves, then everything's fine. Can't you tell? Everything's fine. As long as we look cool, everything's fine. Oh, I see this man with the shades. He's an original. He looks cool with them sunglasses. As a guy that doesn't choose the scarecrow, he stands out. It looks like an original person. Starting to appreciate him for being weird and boring. Not because I wanted anything to do with the scarecrow or these broken, I guess, an idea. This energy, very little energy put into something and wanting an A+ for it. It's worthless. This is an F. This is worse than an F. I can't believe you thought that the amount of time you invested was worth any value and any attention at all. You need to go back to the old drawing board again. You need to put your heart into something. Actually create something of value. Stupidity. I tell her, I don't know what it is. I'm looking at these three and I don't know. It's like eating me alive. It says something like it's laziness, it's stupidity, it's impressionable, it's trying to impress people, it's trying to be cool, it's trying to be new and different, it's just such a waste of time and energy. It's disappointing. It's disappointing. It's a lack. I'm even annoyed by her. It's like she's trying to present herself as something too. Then maybe all we can do is present ourselves as something. And maybe that's literally all we can do. But we can be more than that. We can really take things to the next level of what we can do. And we could really find out what that next level is. I'm starting to understand what it is I'm looking for. I'm looking at our collective body, okay? The unity body. It's a dark blue color, by the way. It's what it looks like. A matte finished, very, very dark, like midnight blue color. And I want it to wake up. Because in all of this, there's... You guys ever notice that the sound of something that is really meaningful, you can feel it, you can hear it, you can just sense it. It doesn't have to be explained. It doesn't have to be proven. It really is exactly the way that it touched your heart. Because it really did touch your heart. It really did move you. It wasn't just convenient. It wasn't just cool at the time. All of that is being stupid. It's stupid. It's stupidity. That means that there really is a deep, a divine truth. There really is an answer for our collective, for the human race. It is put your heart into what you do. Put your heart into who you are. If you put your heart into who you are, you will be felt for who you are. You will be felt for who you are. And when we are moved by people, then there is meaning. People then become meaningful. Especially when we're moved in our heart and to the meaning of people. To feel moved by the meaning of your cell phone, is it like shaking the hand of Jesus Christ? Like meeting a profound representation of genuine depth and value in society. This cell phone is the greatest gift to mankind. Has healed all of our wounds. Has genuinely given back to our children, teenagers, adults, grandparents. This cell phone deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. Cell phone. Have you ever walked into like an old cathedral, like a very old one, like in Europe, or a building where you can feel the energy that was put into the structure, the time that it took, the attention to detail, the artwork, the paint all throughout the building, the design, like you can just feel it. You're in a living structure, a living in time piece of human history that has withstood time, the test of time. Like here it still stands. I've not stepped into an Egyptian pyramid, but here it still stands. That right there is the answer right there. Do you understand what I'm saying? When the heart is put into what we do, there is the gift of magic that comes out of it, that is born from it. Something magical happens. I feel in today's world, we're kind of in a rush all the time. And I feel it too. I can't understand it because I feel like I need to be going faster, but life seems to take a long time for, things to have resolution or for processes and movement to take place. Almost like time stands still in one way that time moves, and another way that time moves, you couldn't move fast enough. And you feel it and you try to slow down. And you try to even go slower than that, but you find yourself still moving so fast. And I wondered if Wi-Fi as an energy frequency, that we exist in this frequency at all times. And I did a journey into 5G and what that looked like on the energy side of things. It does affect us. It does affect our relationship with time. And maybe it's not Wi-Fi. Or maybe it is, and maybe it's just a relationship with the internet, because it's a big part of our reality, of our process. And when the internet runs slow, or the live stream's glitchy or whatever, and the internet's not fast enough, it's very frustrating. Things need to be fast enough. And then they couldn't get faster. Like they couldn't get fast enough. Like even if they're faster, they could still go faster. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, this is good. I mean, do you remember dial-up? And how long it would take to connect to AOL, that was fine back then. My God, if I had to wait for dial-up, I'd be losing my mind. Because we're adapting to speed, and speed is time, and time is money, and it's like the time and the passion, the energy that we're putting into our creations, and putting into ourselves, and putting into the heart of creating. It's like activating the heart of humanity, activating the heart of our world, the creative imagination, the gift of being alive. The time that we're putting into that feels like mere minutes, as opposed to years time devoted to the building of something beautiful that withstands the test of time, and it stays with our memories and our hearts even throughout history. I never fail to acknowledge that horrible things can be meaningful too. And when time is devoted to creating very terrible things, and we become a process or an aspect of that unfolding story, and we're all a part of the pain of something we collectively experience across the globe, there's something really painful is at play here. But time and energy and devotion is going into the manifestation of something from a darker heart. And so what are we going to do with our time? If we are in the palm of the hands of a darker heart, time and energy is being put into building something, crafting something that is appealing to the meaning of this pure dark heart. And then in these hands is our collective unity self. And we are leaning in the direction of the cell phones and the scarecrow haircut, or just trying to be the OG, the original. It's like we are losing the magic and the importance of why we were born. Find out what gets your heart beating and what moves you, and devote your life to discovering your relationship with that and making it the most meaningful and the most beautiful thing that you could give back to the world, or to your friends and family members, or just simply to yourself. Make your life a meaningful life because you put the time and the energy and the effort into it. You brought it to life. So what does that say? If your life is in the palm of somebody else's hands, it is always in the palm of your hand because it is your life. If you continue to do and live and be the most meaningful that you can be, then nothing else matters. Don't get distracted by anything else that's out there. You keep focusing on today, and you keep focusing on what moves you and what is going to make a difference. And that right there is more powerful than anything else in the world. That makes you powerful. You see? I'll let you guys process that. Pretty cool journey. Pretty interesting. I still feel that maybe like some empty spaces about the never-ending story, the crystal, the girl, the concept of the purity and the ugliness will always be part of the whole, will be part of the whole. And what is the answer to that? You follow your heart and you be the meaning that you are for this world. And I feel like anything else that we would define would just kind of fade away, because that all that would remain was the meaning. Just like the old architectures, the great pyramids, still the meaning remains, you see? And you can still touch that meaning to this very day. All right. Thanks for being a part of this experience with me. Hope you guys are doing well. Have an awesome day.